What's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. And we're coming at you with another episode of Designated Twitter, where we dive into the hottest topics in Dodgerland, and we get your fire takes as well as the fire takes from our staff here at Dodgers Nation. On today's episode, we're diving into, should the Dodgers re-sign Trea Turner? Should the Dodgers use the bunt more? You saw them use the bunt yesterday. And also, who would you rather have as your closer this season, Craig Kimbrell or Kenley Jansen? We're going to dive into those topics, but first, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So the first topic we're going to dive into today is, should the Dodgers execute the bunt more? I asked you guys over on Twitter, do you want the Dodgers to lay down more bunts? And of course, yesterday before the game, you saw Dave Roberts, who was an expert bunter during his career. He was giving out bunting lessons. He was teaching Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger. You saw Gavin Lux taking in on the lessons. And what do we see during the game? Max Muncy, he lays down that bunt, had an exit velocity of like 23 miles per hour. And then what happened after that? Chris Taylor hits the opposite field, 2-run home run, and it factored into the Dodgers winning that game. And seeing Max Muncy hit that bunt, it was satisfying. This time he didn't say go get it out of the ocean. He said go get it out of the grass.
And I do wish he had laid it down with Bumgarner on the mound, but the fact that he was there still made it very satisfying.
So I want to see more bunts, especially when you consider the fact that with the shift, that side of the infield is left wide open. It's free money, cash in on those bunts. So I'm definitely pro bunts. I like big bunts, and I cannot lie. And I'm going to ask the staff here, do they want to see the Dodgers lay down the bunts more? And here's what they had to say.
Is there a reason they should be laying down more bunts? I would say in the right situation, sure, but you're only going to have one Max Muncy bunt hit all season, most likely. So, no, I don't really care to see more bunts. I want to see the right amount of bunts. I cannot lie.
I'm pretty boomerish in the sense that, like, I really like to see small ball. So I guess they should lay down a lot of bunts. More than anything, they're slump busters. Cody Bellinger's got the whole left side of the infield open. Max Muncy has the whole left side of the infield open. If you can't hit, just bunt. I don't know. Try something else. It's not working for you.
I think the Dodgers should start bunting at the right times. It's not a blanket statement of they should just bunt whenever and however in every single game in every single instance. They should do it when it's smart, not when Austin Barnes is on third during the middle of a rally.
So now that you've got the staff's takes on should the Dodgers lay down more bunts, let's see what some of you guys had to say over on Twitter.
At NorCal Penguin tweeted, yes, especially Belly and Muncy. When teams apply the shift, it's hard for them to get on. Do whatever it takes. Then at Manway613 tweeted, yes, some of us have been saying this for 3 years, ever since the shift became more prevalent. What's taken so long? And then finally, Michael tweeted, sure, bunts are awesome. The unexpected bunt can be an infield terror.
All right, so the next topic we're going to jump into today is, should the Dodgers re-sign Trea Turner? And I asked you guys over on Twitter. It was our poll of the week. Should the Dodgers attempt to sign him long-term? Why or why not? And 77.1% of you said yes. 22.9% of you said no. And that was with 1,426 votes. We still have 16 hours to go on the poll, so be sure to head over to Twitter and vote on that. So it definitely has been a slower start for Trea Turner to start this season. We're watching the game right now. Just hit his second bomb of the year, but his power numbers have definitely been down to start the year. If you look at his numbers, he is second on the team with 37 hits. If you look at his averages, he's slashing 276, 344, 403 with a 747 OPS. And I think Dodger fans out there, they kind of expected a little more power for him early on in the season. Now, in my opinion, if you look at Trea Turner, it's still a no-brainer to re-sign everyday Trea. If you look at his durability, he's played in every single game for the Dodgers this season. Also, throughout his career, he has been more of a second-half player. He has a 873 second-half OPS versus a 794 first-half OPS, and I still think Trea Turner is that guy, and I wanted to see him slide into an extension with this Dodger team. But I asked the staff here, should the Dodgers re-sign Trea Turner? And here's what they had to say.
Trea Turner, I mean, there's not a better shortstop in the system right now that could also hit. He's a triple threat. He's handsome. Why would you not want Trea Turner back? You do kind of have those question marks with the postseason stats, but it's been one go for him. He's a former world champion. give him some time. But look, I love Gavin Lux at times. Don't want to see him as a shortstop of the future. I think he's got better opportunity elsewhere. Sure, bring back Trea Turner. Why not? Give him all the money or some of the money.
The fact that they have yet to offer him an extension at this point suggests that they're probably looking beyond this season at somebody else who's going to be available. Might I suggest one Carlos Correa, who will be on the open market coming up probably pretty soon. So there's no one ready in the system. Gavin Lux is not your future shortstop. I think they're looking big, and maybe it's not Trea.
The Dodgers should absolutely sign one of the best shortstops in the game long term. NL batting champ, led all position players in WAR last year. Trea Turner's an absolute stud. They should sign him long term.
Now, I definitely hear the concerns out there when it comes to Trea Turner in the postseason. If you look at his postseason numbers, a 536 OPS in 167 at-bats. Yes, those numbers aren't very impressive, but we saw with Corey Seager. We saw with Cody Bellinger. Players can have bad postseasons and all of a sudden have some big moments. We saw in 2020 when Seager went into God mode, just like that, he was an elite player during that postseason run. So I still think it's in there for Trea Turner, and the way I look at it is he's consistent. He's a guy, if you look at since the start of the 2020 season, a 10.2 F4, that's good for 4th in all of Major League Baseball, a 142 WRC plus, that's good for 10th, and he's a guy where if you put Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Trea Turner in the same lineup at the top of your order, you're going to win multiple World Series with that lineup. So to me, I'm signing every day Trea. But here were some of your takes over on Twitter.
At Dodgers Nonstop tweeted, I wouldn't mind if we did or did not re-sign him. He's not a must-sign since we got players in the minors, but it would be nice to have Trea with Mookie and Freddie for that 1-2-3. Then Thomas Ryan tweeted, there's only a few shortstops I'd take over Trea, and none are likely available over the offseason. Then Mark B&SD tweeted, I expected better defense from Trea after he moved back to shortstop. He'll probably need to show overall improvement before they invest a lot of years and dollars. Then Dad Derides tweeted, move Lux to short, spend the money elsewhere. Then finally Terry tweeted, yes, he's an elite shortstop. He's off to a bit of a slow start, but who isn't in this lineup other than Freeman? He'll come around.
And so the last topic we're going to get into today is Kenley Jansen versus Craig Kimbrell. Now, Kenley Jansen, of course, the Dodgers' all-time saves leader. You know I call him the California Adventure. He's the guy that, yes, he did give me 5,000 mini heart attacks. Yes, my blood pressure has gone down with him not on the team. But if you look at the year he's having in Atlanta so far, he's been pretty damn elite. So far this season, 8 saves for Kenley Jansen, no blown saves, a 2.45 ERA, a .61 whip, a .99 FIP. Opponents are hitting 120 off him. That K percentage at 37.7%, a .7 F4, and he's looked really good down in the ATL. Now, if you look at Craig Kimbrell so far for the Dodgers, he has had some walks. He gave the home run last night. 6 saves, no blown saves, a 2.7 ERA, a 1.24 whip, .93 home runs per 9, a 3.10 FIP. You want to see that K percentage go up a little bit. It's currently at 26.8%, and opponents are hitting 237 off of him. But to me, I still think I'm fine with having Craig Kimbrell over Kenley Jansen. I love me some Kenley Jansen, but I think that ran its course. I think that it's time for the Dodgers. It was time for the Dodgers to turn the page, and I think it was the right move. Now, the other thing, too, though, is Kenley Jansen, since he got booed off the mound last season after he blew that save against the Giants, he's been elite. A 1.17 ERA since then. He's been phenomenal, but I will caution you with this. Kenley Jansen is good until he's not, and we saw that throughout his career. You saw that in Game 2 of the 2017 World Series. You saw that in Game 4 of the 2018 World Series. You saw that in Game 4 of the 2020 World Series. So you never know when he's not going to have it, and when he doesn't, it usually leads to a lot of bad things, and a lot of Dodger fans very upset on social media. But I asked the staff here, who would they rather have as their closer this season, Craig Kimbrell or Kenley Jansen? Would you want Kenley Jansen back if you could have him back? And here's what they had to say.
No. Why? I'm fine with Kenley's replacement, Craig. Craig can stay as long as he wants, which is going to be 1 year. Kenley's probably coming back in 2023, maybe. But whoever's getting the job done works for me.
I would say that Kenley still has the better walkout music, so in that sense he wins. But aside from that, you're talking about a guy who can throw 98, 99 versus a guy who throws 92 with a little bit of movement. I don't know, man. I still am pretty high on Craig Kimbrell. They don't use him. He's only pitched in 10 games this year. I think that's a big problem. That's a big issue that has led to him giving up runs when he does get into games. So, I don't know. Give him the Kenley treatment, man. Get him into games more often. I feel like they were games tied. They were putting Kenley in the game whenever they could, and now Craig Kimbrell is just sitting on the bench like he did during the NLDS that one year. So
Kenley Jansen's like the TV show Friends. Even though it's over, I still have to keep hearing about it. It's over. It's done. Get over it. It's never happening again. Sorry.
And then ask you guys over on Twitter, if you could replace Craig Kimbrell with Kenley Jansen as Dodgers closer, would you do that? Why or why not?
At Night23 Wild tweeted, Kimbrell all day. He has a legit four-seam that can blow by most batters. His off-speed pitches have more break than Jansen. Jansen has a bad habit of not getting any bite on his cutter, and it's basically a 91-mile-per-hour meatball. I predict Jansen will break down soon. At rbrody35 tweeted, I really miss blown save after blown save while constantly reminiscing about 2014 to 2017. I also miss his complete lack of accountability when he didn't deliver, but most of all, I miss the intentional balk. Then Bags04 tweeted, if Kimbrell was actually given the opportunity to pitch consistently, he'd finally be able to get in a groove. Then at Big Loud More tweeted, yes. 1, Kenley has been much steadier the last 5 years than Kimbrell. 2, Kimbrell has a serious homer problem. Kenley not so much, and he's also allowing half as many runners, 0.61 whip to 1.24. 3, Kenley is a goddamn icon here and should be respected as such. And then finally, Arthur tweeted, no, because I can't take the pain.
But let me know down below in the comments section, do you think the Dodgers should re-sign Trea Turner? Even though he's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start this season, is there anything you've seen early on that might make you want to second guess the Dodgers signing him and locking him up long term? Let me know. Also, who would you rather have as Dodgers closer this year? After having a little bit of a sample size with Craig Kimbrell, seeing the year that Kenley's having down in Atlanta, who would you rather have? Kenley Jansen or Craig Kimbrell? And then finally, do you want to see the Dodgers lay down more bunts? You want to see some more small ball? You want to see some more bunting from this Dodgers offense? Let me know down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For our latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, podcasts, breakdowns, and more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.